Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you well from wherever you're watching this channel. To be honest, ladies and gentlemen, if you're someone who's been following, Ruto last year, when he started touring Africa countries, making some very, very bold statements, if you've been doing that, then you realize that Ruto these days is in trouble. I want to take you to a certain, session between Ruto and the BBC. And funny enough is that if you remember, Waiga Mwaura used to be in Citizen TV, but currently works for the BBC. So it took William Ruto to task to explain why he is always frequenting, these summits. There is a Korea summit. There was the, Saudi Arabia summit. You see, there are so many summits. The only summit is skipped is the one of the Russia and African states, heads of state. Why? And simply we know that it was because Russia and the US, they are not on the same page, so there was no way William Ruto was going to tour there. But all other summits, Ruto has never skipped, even a single one. So Waiga Mwaura decided to throw a political question to William Ruto to simply explain why is it that when he said himself on that tour, I think in South Africa, when he said that there will never come a time, where Africa's head of state will be converged, in a bus, just taken to go and listen to one particular person. Why can't that one particular person come on board? That was a very, very nice question. In fact, because of that question and that position, he got a standing ovation because of that statement. So I want to take you to what Waiga Mwaura asked, ladies and gentlemen. But before you do that, please like this video. I've discovered that so many people forget to like our videos, and if you don't like our videos, YouTube doesn't share our video. Please do so by liking, and also you can subscribe to make this channel grow. And to existing subscribers, thank you so much for making this channel grow. This is not the first time, this is not the second time Ruto is being asked about these frequent visits or these frequent trips of Africa's head of states. Let's listen to what Waiga Mwaura asked.
Is that we are going to have every year an Africa Economic and Investment Summit, where we will be inviting countries like Korea, the United States, Germany, EU, and other countries to come and attend those meetings, the summits. Instead of us traveling around the globe, it is easier for us to come and profile our investments.
You've made statements beyond Kenya that has caught the attention, for example, of Africans. For example, the statement you made on the summit and why that needs to be engaged differently. And when you announced that you are going to this summit that you are at right now, some Africans asked, I thought he said he wouldn't go there before. And they questioned whether they should believe the President Ruto.
I have answered that question 5 times. Please find another question.
I ask you because you make strong policy pronouncements, and some would ask.
Unless you have a particular answer you want, which unfortunately I can't give you. I have answered that question 5 times.
The question is, can President Ruto's policy pronouncements year on year be trusted?
Absolutely. That is why.
Now, before I respond, let me take you to a tweet that Alfred Keter and Gabriel Oguda shared, because they reacted to this explosive interview by Waiga Mwaura on William Ruto. And this is what Gabriel Oguda shared. Over there at the BBC, Waiga Mwaura has decided to do the Lord's work on behalf of all Kenyans, and your favorite God-chosen president is about to start boiling inside. Someone tell the driver to alight me there right now. I mean, in fact, if you look at this questioning, Ruto told Waiga Mwaura, I have answered that question 5 times. I don't know whether this is like the 6th trip Because the last time I checked, we were almost at 50. This could be the 60th trip. But you see, when Ruto made his stand known last year, a stand that made the Africa heads of state give him a standing ovation. When he made that statement, he talked about sending the chair of the AU to be the one AUC to be the one representing Africa's heads of state in those meetings.
True leaders like Ibrahim Traore are devoting themselves to improving the living conditions of their people without being swayed by the allure of frequent summits and international gatherings. But the big question on this video is, why do African leaders keep showing up when summoned by a single country when there's an African Union? You see, the most hypocritical leader presently is William Ruto. He spent a full year attacking the Russia-Africa summit, saying that Africa must be represented by the African Union in such meetings. Then he ended up at the marginal Italy-Africa summit and now Korea-Africa summit. Last year, President William Ruto complained about the mistreatment of African presidents during foreign trips. During the Mo Ibrahim Governance Weekend at the Kenya International Convention Center, President Ruto voiced his discontent regarding the treatment of African heads of state, citing instances where they were subjected to mistreatment.
But that's the reason why you find that BBC is still poking holes on that matter, because Ruto made a firm stand. Now he's not honoring what he had called for, to stop over expenditure by presidents, but to send one person to go and represent the other heads of state. Probably after that they can have a meeting and probably discuss, and then this person will also still represent. That has always been the common agenda, ladies and gentlemen. But Ruto is doing it differently, attending all these summits and not missing a single summit. This is why Waiga Maura realized that the best thing to do is to poke holes on that matter and ask William Ruto tough questions. So I think Ruto found himself confused over whether to answer this question or to simply find a strategy of ignoring the question by posing to Waiga Maura that this is not the first time I'm being asked this question. It's like the 5th time. So please, let's proceed to another question. So he was in a smart way trying to avoid the question or evade the question. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you make of this sudden reality here that Ruto was confronted with a very difficult question which he could not answer directly? So just tell us below the comment section. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. So until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.